This is Dabu7, an update to the situation in Aurora, Colorado. It seems that there's been a lot of misinformation that has been crafted and pushed out there to try to go along with some kind of narrative. But what we've come to find out from people that are on the ground is that indeed there are gangs, there is violence, there are shootings in this area, and there have been for decades from the people that I've talked to. But we now have gang members coming from across the country meeting up at this location, at this exact apartment complex. Even YouTubers going down here and speaking to the locals and asking them, is Trende Aragua in the region? Are they occupying the buildings and this and that? And over again, the answer is no, that they're not. Are there gangs down there? Are there things going down? Yes. But I want to share some clips here because it's set to be spreading to Chicago. And one of the guys from the streets of Chicago has a message and said, you're not going to come here because we don't play that. We play different. And basically, they are putting a shot across the bow out there to anyone that wants to mess around. And I said this before many times, that the gangs are different. They're not like any other group that you think is going to do something. I mean, these guys defend their block on a daily basis, unlike others out there that don't have to do that. So, I told you, it's going to come down to the gangs making a stand against these people, and that's exactly what is happening right now. The people in the streets from these hoods coming out en masse. There's video of them out there en masse showing that they're very upset about what's going on here. I'm going to play some clips here.
Came down here to the Lowry Apartments, ran into Big Mod.
For sure, Big Mod 29, y'all know what it is?
Yeah, we down here for the same reasons. Right here. Dallas and 12th. The Lowry Apartments, we're down here to chase these Venezuelans off.
Oh, we don't know. We ain't from here.
Look, we got another one right here. What's up, bro? Look, we're down here to fucking take our country back.
Ain't no question.
You guys want to mob down or what? I got a megaphone in the car. Yeah.
And this is a clip from Chicago.
Y'all gonna regret that. You're gonna really regret that. So, I don't speak Spanish, so somebody need to translate. I hope they got TikTok that translate, I guess. They can kind of make me seem like I'm speaking Spanish. But anyway, take this like a grain of salt if you like. But this ain't Colorado. This ain't Utah. This ain't none of them places. This is just like where you from. The only difference is y'all use a lot of handgun, old revolvers, and machetes and shit. We got switches. If you're not familiar with what a switch is, we will show you.
All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostle elders which rule Great Millstone well. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abab ball. So what you see is the blind leading the blind, and they're both going to fall into the same pit. All right. So the so-called Caucasian, the red devil the Bible speaks of, starting with the ruling class, is setting up a trap to ensnare the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian using their gang ties. Okay? And I'm going to grab a couple scriptures just to make the point. All right, it's Jeremiah 51:9. And it made me think of this because of Jake. You know, they're over there trying to fight for land or property that ain't even theirs. Right? Because they're gang related over territories. right? But who really owns that property? Who owns those streets? Who owns those houses? It's not the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian. It's the so-called Caucasian. All right, the red devil the Bible speaks of. It says in Jeremiah 51:9, and this is the mentality of Jake today. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Talking about America. America is the land of confusion. It is Babylon the Great. And it's in a state of decay. And these reprobates that know not better, all right, they're trying to heal America. As you just saw, they're more roused up than the Edomite. They're out there running around with guns in their vehicles looking for their enemy, which is just another Jake. Like it says, blood touches blood. Why? Because the wicked are in power. All right? It says, it says, forsake her. So forget this place. It's over for Babylon. It's divided. A kingdom that is divided cannot stand. A house that is divided cannot stand. It says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. All right, which the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian, the Israelite does not know, nor do they consider. All right, just like you saw that man men inside this video I showed you, they want to be recognized as a gang member that's down for the hood, which is vain, worthless. But even the heathen, all right, they're going to grab to their own kind. It says, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, right? So they got a space force, right? And ever since they claim to have touched the moon with their eagle, that so-called landed on the moon, America has been in a straight downfall. All right. So eventually these heathen that have businesses here, they're eventually going to pack up and leave. All right. And pretty much you're going to have a race war in America. And this is the setup to it. Okay. It's 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober. Be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, the so-called white man, which deceives the world, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And I'm going to show you how he's hunting you.
Rattling. I've got 3 devices with me today that I might use on any given day in the season. We're going to talk about which ones I use, how to use them, and maybe when to use them. The first one I want to talk about is actually rattling antlers. These are a fake antler, but they're very realistic sounding. I personally don't like to cut up the bucks.
See? So as you can see, they got 2 antlers, right? And they rattle them together to put out a sound to other, to male bucks that would have antlers also, or horns, right? And they would hear that noise thinking there's a commotion, a fight over women or territory or resources. And when they would run in, the hunter that would be sitting there in camouflage deceiving them, right? They even put like piss on themselves and shit to blend in or to attract the buck. And when the buck is distracted, right, because he just hears the commotion, right, the hunter is there and blows the deer away, right, and puts his head on the wall. But as you can see, the devil, the so-called white man, which you can see this guy's red, and his shirt underneath his button-up is white, and he is obviously red. All right? The so-called white man is red. All right? And it says that they're like Cain, because they're the descendants of Cain, the reincarnation of Cain, and they're hunters. All right? And they were blessed with the sword and deception. And as you see, the rattling is a deception to lead the buck into the sword. And that's what's happening right now. That's why I said the blind are leading the blind. All right. And they're both going to fall into the same pit, which is going to be the grave. All right, whether it's by the sword, whether it's by famine, whether it's all the way up to the nuclear destruction. All right, the Jake that are in America, the reprobates, the 2/3, the Israelites that don't care to know, don't know, refuse to, to know, they're all going to be destroyed in Babylon the Great, which is America, the land of confusion. All right? And this is the setup for it. He's leading you to your death just by rattling the cage a little bit. He tells you, oh, there's some, some immigrants over here, some gang members. So now you got all these fucking dumbass, gang members, which are mostly Jake, even the light-skinned ones, right? They go over there and they're running around with guns on them, most likely with bodies on them, most likely with illegal weapons, right? A lot of them are felons, which are not supposed to own weapons, and they're going to be led into their demise by the rattling of the so-called white man, the red devil, that is literally looking to devour the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian. Because the prophets of the nation of Israel are here, all right, and we're prophesying the downfall of this devil. So I got one more. It's 2 Corinthians 11. 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right. And one of the devices of that red devil, the so-called white man, is his sword and deception, which he worships Satan. All right. And Lucifer, the so-called white man's empire, is going to fall like lightning, starting with the elite. All right. They're going to go into slavery. And this is why they're going to come down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time. Revelation 12:12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, the deceiver, the so-called white man, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And even Yahushua, when he was speaking to his disciples, which became apostles, right? It says in verse 3, Matthew 24:3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua, it says Jesus, but it's Yahushua. Let's go in there just to show. All right. It says Jesus in the English. Greek is older. It would be Jesus. But as you can see here, it's a Hebrew origin. So it's not Greek. And when you come down here to the lexicon, it has the true name there. All right. It's in the modern Hebrew, but it's still accurate with the lettering. It's right to left. Yah-ha-wah-shai. Yahawashai. All right. And that's the Syrian Hebrew, which are, the modern Hebrew that they use in the Yiddish. All right. But even if you go back to the Paleo Hebrew, it would still be Yah-ha-wah-shai. Yahawashai. The Father's name is Yahweh. It says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. All right, we're dealing with a high level of witchcraft and deception, and this is why we need this truth to guide us. All right, because if you're going off your emotions, Esau's doing things to use your emotions against you. You don't want to be going off your feelings. You want to be going off of what is prophesied and what is said that the righteous would do. That's why this word is like a light to our path, as it says in Psalms 119. It says, Salakia. I'm just looking it up. I mean, I could do it faster if I put the word in. But through the Spirit, I know it's up in Psalm 119. Let's see. I'll end it with this verse, though. Oh, that's a good one right there. 95. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies, right? Which the Lord's going to deliver us. That's the testimony that Yahweh Shai gave us, that Yahweh remembered us. And when he was sacrificed for us, that showed Yahweh's love for us. And then when he was resurrected, that showed the power that is with us. Look at Psalms 119 and 110. The wicked have laid a snare for me, which the snare is to try to capture you so that they can either put you to death or eventually, try to put pressure on you to take that implantable microchip, which they're going to make mandatory for buying and selling. All right? Yet I err not from thy precepts. Now, 114, thou art my hiding place and my shield. I will hope in thy word. And that's self-explanatory right there. Let's see. 125, I am thy servant. Give me understanding that I may know thy testimonies. Which the understanding comes through the Holy Spirit, which comes from Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Let me just look it up. Here it is. I went over it. It was 105. All right. It says, thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So this is why we're able to see, the trickery of the devil, and we're going to be able to avoid it because we have this knowledge and understanding through Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, right? Which the Holy Spirit ministers to us the understanding of thy word, Yahweh's word, right? Which Yahweh Shai has the title of the word. That's why the Holy Spirit testifies of Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and that is the ointment, the anointment that actually allows us to see through the darkness. And that's why they won't be able to deceive the elect, all right? It says Matthew 24. It says, Matthew 24, verse 24. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs, which is happening and has happened, and false prophets. Once again, it is happening and it has happened. And shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. But it's not possible. It says, if it were possible. But it's impossible because we have the eye salve, which is the Holy Spirit. All right? For that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the elect, wa abba babal.